Will this fight night surprise people, or will it be an event nobody remembers? Let's get into it. In the first fight, we have Modestas Bukauskas versus Rafael Cerqueira. Bukauskas is 31 years old, 16-6, 4-1 in his last 5 fights, coming off a submission win 6 months ago. Bukauskas lands 3.21 significant strikes per minute, absorbs 4.11. He has a 55% finish rate and is a -325 favorite. Cerqueira is 33 years old, 11-1, 4-1 in his last 5 fights, coming off a KO loss 3 months ago. Cerqueira lands 1.18 significant strikes per minute, absorbs 32.9. He has a 100% finish rate and is a +260 underdog. Rafael was brutally finished in his UFC debut 3 months ago. How does he bounce back after his first loss? Bukauskas has been up and down, and this is his second stint in the UFC. Will Bukauskas' experience of being there with some high-level fighters make a difference? Rafael's striking defense didn't look great in his last fight, but Bukauskas isn't a real power puncher. I can see Rafael getting a finish early or Bukauskas winning this by decision. This is a tough one, but I'm going to go up Modestas Bukauskas, but this isn't a confident pick at all. What's up, everybody? Crossover MMA back in here for another video. Now let's get back into it. In the next fight, we have Mansur Abdul-Malik versus Nick Klein. Abdul-Malik is 27 years old, 7-0, coming off a KO win 3 months ago. Abdul-Malik lands 6.61 significant strikes per minute, absorbs 4.21, has a 100% finish rate, and is a -560 favorite. Klein is 29 years old, 6-1, 4-1 in his last 5 fights, coming off a submission win 4 months ago. Klein has a 71% finish rate and is a +410 underdog. We have 2 young, hungry fighters right here. This will be Abdul-Malik's second fight in the UFC, and it will be Nick Klein's UFC debut. Abdul-Malik will enjoy a 2-inch reach advantage, and that could be key as he's very high output and a power striker. Klein will be up against it here as he's taking this fight on short notice, and perhaps he can use his slick grappling to get a submission here, just like he did on short notice on Dana White's Contender Series. I'm gonna go Abdul-Malik. Powerful guy with a 100% finish rate, and I like that. In the next fight, we have Ricky Simon versus Javid Basharat. Ricky Simon is 32 years old, 20-6, coming off a decision loss 7 months ago. Simon lands 2.99 significant strikes per minute, absorbs 3.84, has a 39% finish rate, and is a +230 underdog. Basharat is 29 years old, 14-1, coming off a decision loss 11 months ago. Basharat lands 5.42 significant strikes per minute, absorbs 2.97, has a 73% finish rate, and is a -285 favorite. Ricky Simon's on a 3-fight skid and hasn't won a fight since 2022. He's a wrestler that tries to grind out his opponents with pressure and pace. Javid Basharat, on the other hand, is a fast, technical striker with high output. In my opinion, I think Basharat will have a speed advantage and a skill advantage on the feet as well. Basharat also has good takedown defense at 86%. So I'm going to go with Javid Basharat here. I just think the takedown defense will hold up and he'll get the better of Ricky Simon on the feet. In the next fight, we have Nursulton Ruziboev versus McConico. Ruziboev is 31 years old, 34-9, 4-1 in his last 5 fights, coming off a decision loss 9 months ago. Ruziboev lands 2.5 significant strikes per minute, absorbs 4.6, has a 71% finish rate, and is a -300 favorite. McConico is 34 years old, 9-2-1, 5-0 in his last 5 fights, coming off a KO win 1 year ago. McConico has a 58% finish rate and is a +240 underdog. Ruziboev is a massive welterweight striker at 6'5". He'll also enjoy a 1-inch reach advantage here. He'll be looking to bounce back after a tough loss to Joaquin Buckley. I think he learned a lot from that fight, and that'll make him a better going forward. McConico is taking his first fight on short notice, and he hasn't fought in over a year. We could be in for a fun fight with McConico having a 100% finish rate, but I'm just going to go at Ruziboev here. I just think facing a higher level of competition is going to serve him well in this matchup. In the next fight, we have Cutelaba versus Ibo Aslan. Cutelaba is 31 years old, 18-10-1, 2-3 in his last 5 fights, coming off a decision win 4 months ago. Cutelaba lands 4.29 significant strikes per minute, absorbs 3.34, has a 52% finish rate and is a plus 115 underdog. Aslan is 29 years old, 14-1, 5-0 in his last 5 fights, coming off a KO win 3 months ago. Aslan lands 8.34 significant strikes per minute, absorbs 4.34, has a 93% finish rate, and is a minus 135 favorite. This fight is going to be a wild brawl. Cutelaba is a wrestler that throws wild strikes on the feet. Cutelaba's fight IQ looked really good in his last fight, but that might be just because his opponent pretty much just took pictures the entire fight. Ibo Aslan is a big power puncher that'll look for the finish very early. I think Cutelaba will look to use his grappling early and often here. Aslan does have good takedown defense, but Cutelaba will definitely test it. I'm gonna go with Ibo Aslan here. I think he's gonna find Cutelaba's chin and get a finish. In the next fight, we have Fili versus Melquizael Costa. Fili's 34 years old, 24-11, 3-2 in his last 5 fights, coming off a decision win 7 months ago. Fili lands 3.85 significant strikes per minute, absorbs 4.11. He has a 37% finish rate, and this is a pick'em fight. Costa's 28 years old, 21-7, 3-2 in his last 5 fights, coming off a submission win 8 months ago. Costa lands 4.29 significant strikes per minute, absorbs 2.29, has a 50% finish rate, and like I said, this is a pick'em fight. These guys are kind of like mirror images of one another's skill set. Both guys have solid striking and mix in the wrestling and grappling as well. Fili has been in there with the better competition, in my opinion, and I think that experience will be key in this fight. I'm gonna go with Fili here, but I think this fight will be very competitive, and if Costa were to get his hands raised, it wouldn't surprise me at all. In the next fight, we have Alonzo Menifield versus Julius Walker. Menifield is 37 years old, 15-5-1, 2-2-1 in his last 5 fights, coming off a KO loss 6 months ago. Menifield lands 3.77 significant strikes per minute, absorbs 3.7. He has a 62% finish rate and is a minus 170 favorite. Walker's 25 years old, 6-0, coming off a KO win 2 months ago. Walker has a 100% finish rate and is a plus 140 underdog. Alonzo Menifield's on a 2-fight skid where he's got knocked out twice. He'll be in need of a win badly. Julius Walker on the other side will be making his UFC debut. This guy has a 100% finish rate and has only been out of the first round once. Walker will enjoy a 5-inch reach advantage, and I think he'll be a very live dog here. I'm gonna take a chance. I'm gonna go with Julius Walker here and just go with the underdog. I mean, you know, just got a gut feeling and just got to go with it. I think Alonzo Menifield coming off those 2 KO losses. In the next fight, we have Silva versus Melsik Baghdasaryan. Silva's 28 years old, 14-2, 5-0 in his last 5 fights, coming off a KO win 7 months ago. Silva lands 5.37 significant strikes per minute, absorbs 4.48. He has an 81% finish rate and is a minus 575 favorite. Melsik is 33 years old, 8-2, coming off a decision win over 1.5 years ago. Melsik lands 5.28 significant strikes per minute, absorbs 3.06, has a 50% finish rate, and is a plus 425 underdog. This will be a striker's delight and should be a lot of fun. Silva's on an 11-fight win streak. He fights out of the red-hot Fighting Nerds gym. Melsik will have to give Silva a lot to think about and not allow him to get comfortable to get his timing down and to set up shots. I think Silva gets it done here. He's been on a roll, and I think the momentum just only continues from here. In the next fight, we have Rob Font versus Matsumoto. Font is 37 years old, 21-8, 2-3 in his last 5 fights, coming off a decision win 3 months ago. Font lands 5.44 significant strikes per minute, absorbs 3.58, has a 45% finish rate, and is a plus 130 underdog. Matsumoto is 25 years old, 16-0, coming off a decision win 3 months ago. Matsumoto lands 5.2 significant strikes per minute, absorbs 5.05, has a 56% finish rate, and is a minus 175 favorite. First off, this fight will be taking place at a catch weight at 140 pounds. Rob Font has probably the best jab in the UFC. He's pretty much serving as the gatekeeper at bantamweight right now. He'll also enjoy a 3-inch reach advantage. Matsumoto on the other side is a young, hungry fighter with very high output. He has 6 submission wins on his resume. I'm expecting this to be a lot of fun, action-packed. If Matsumoto can get Font into a scramble, he can definitely catch something. But I'm going to go with the underdog. I'm going to take Rod Font here. In the co-main event, we have Brendan Allen versus Anthony Fluffy Hernandez. Brendan Allen is 29 years old, 24-6, 4-1 in his last 5 fights, coming off a decision loss 4 months ago. Allen lands 3.79 significant strikes per minute, absorbs 3.83, has a 63% finish rate, and is a plus 225 underdog. Hernandez is 31 years old, 13-2, 5-0 in his last 5 fights, coming off a TKO win 3 months ago. Hernandez lands 4.9 significant strikes per minute, absorbs 2.88, has a 73% finish rate, and is a minus 285 favorite. This is a rematch to their 2018 fight where Fluffy won a unanimous decision. Brendan Allen has come off a decision loss, and before that fight, he was on a 7-fight win streak. Fluffy Hernandez is currently on a 6-fight win streak and has looked like a man absolutely possessed. I think Fluffy will be a tough matchup for Allen, as Allen doesn't have great takedown defense. He also doesn't possess that zapping power to stop Fluffy Hernandez from walking him down. Allen does have 14 submission wins on his resume and is a legit threat on the ground. I think this fight is going to come down to, can Allen land enough on the feet and defend some takedowns? Or does Fluffy's grappling nullify Brendan Allen's BJJ? I think Fluffy Hernandez is grappling. I think he's going to nullify Brendan Allen. So I'm going to take Fluffy Hernandez to get it done in the co-main. Before we get into the main event, like the video, subscribe, ring the bell so you don't miss any content. In the main event, we have Henry Cejudo versus Song Yadong. Henry Cejudo is 38 years old, 16-4, coming off a decision loss 11 months ago. Cejudo lands 3.77 significant strikes per minute, absorbs 3.29, he has a 40% finish rate, and is a plus 220 underdog. Song Yadong is 27 years old, 21-8-1, coming off a decision loss 11 months ago. Yadong lands 4.49 significant strikes per minute, absorbs 3.96, he has a 40% finish rate, and is a minus 270 favorite. Henry Cejudo's on a 2-fight skid and looking to get back into the title picture at bantamweight. He's been in there with some of the best fighters to ever do it. He's on the wrong side of 35 and at a lower weight class. He does have excellent wrestling credentials, but he isn't much of a submission threat. Song Yadong is a young and fast, dynamic striker with power in his hands. He's been out of action for 11 months and has fought high-level competition as well, just like Cejudo. In Yadong's tough fights, in my opinion, he's mostly been the smaller guy. In this matchup, he'll have a 4-inch height advantage and a 3-inch reach advantage. I'm going to go with Song Yadong. I like the youth and the speed. I think that's going to be key here. Add in the fact that Song will have a size advantage. I just think he's going to be too much on the feet for Henry Cejudo. Questions, comments, feedback are always welcome. Enjoy the fights, and as always, until next time.